Hi there, this is Kristi Villani from My Quilting Loft. How are you? Thank you for joining me for week 2 of our tutorial for our sew along that we're doing here at My Quilting Loft. I hope you enjoyed the first week that we did when we made this block right here. We did the maple leaf block in week 1. So if you haven't done that one yet, go back and watch the first video and make sure that you have your book available that you're going to need so you can make that block right there. Now, the book that I'm referring to that you're going to need is the new Quick and Easy Block Tool book, and so that you can follow along in our sew along, because all of the blocks that we're going to be doing, well, almost all of the blocks that we're going to be doing, follow right out of this book. So you're going to want to make sure that you have it. So, okay, so you're going to want to make sure that you have your 3 yards of background fabric and your 5 yards of fabric for the blocks that you're going to need. You're going to want at least 5 different colors, as many as you like beyond that, but you're going to need at least 5 so you have a nice variety. Just make sure that all together you have at least 5 yards of those. And for your background fabric, if you haven't picked your background fabric yet, I want you to just kind of think as your background fabric as your stage, and the fabric that you're going to use for the blocks as your main characters. So if you kind of think of it like that, you'll be on the right track. Okay, so block that we're going to be doing this week is the Churn Dash Block, and that's a very familiar block. It's an old standard, and so some of you probably already know exactly how to make that one. But for those of you who are still learning, this is a really fun block. You learn some skills that you are going to carry on into all of your quilting in the future. You're going to have your basic half square triangle, squares, cutting, piecing, just some basic things. So you can do this. So you ready to get started? Okay, here's what your block is going to look like. This is Churn Dash Block. And you'll notice here I've got, see, 1, 2, 3, 4 different colors in this block. So I've selected 4 different fabrics to put this one together. Your main focus is this shape right here with this part of the half square triangle inside, and then the inside part of these small rectangle blocks. You're going to want to make sure that these fabrics are all the same so that this part will stand out. The rest of it is just also kind of supporting cast for this block. So this is a fun one to do. It's pretty quick and easy. You're going to want to make sure that you make 4 of these blocks. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure that you refer to page 34 in your book and block number 22, and that is the Churn Dash Block. And that will show you the layout of this block, as well as it will show you the cutting instructions for putting together this block. It doesn't show you a lot of the sewing directions or any of that, so that's why we have a tutorial. This book is great. It does have 110 different blocks in there that it will teach you, and so it's a lot of fun. So let's get started, shall we? The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure and you're going to cut your fabrics to the specifications for the 9-inch block. So take your friction pin and mark in your book, this is a 9-inch finished block. So your block, when you're done putting it together, is going to be actually 9.5 inches. So let me show you something here. When you've sewn your block together, you're going to want to take a ruler and see this should be 9.5 inches wide. So if you have a 9.5 inch block when you're done, that means you'll have a 9-inch finished block. So if you're new, don't let that scare you off. Just know that when you sew this block together with other blocks in your quilt, that takes up a 1/4 inch on all sides, leaving it a 9-inch block when you're done. So does that make sense? I hope you understand that. Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to lay out your fabrics that you're going to choose. You're going to have your A, B, C, D, and E fabrics. And notice that A and D are the same fabrics so that we get that churn dash effect in the block. So that's very important. So now just because A, B, C, and D is 5 different ones, we're using 4. So don't get confused with that. And then you're going to make 4 blocks, and you're going to want to make them identical. Unless you're going for the total scrappy look, then you can use whatever fabrics you want. But for most of us, I think we're making each of our blocks as 4 identical blocks. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your A and B fabrics. You're going to line those up very carefully. Make sure that you don't see any of the green behind it, and then you can take it to the machine. If you've got your handy dandy 1/4-inch seam tape, which is awesome because then you don't have to mark anything. But if you don't have that, then you're going to want to take a ruler, draw a line from corner to corner, and then you're going to sew a 1/4-inch on either side of that line. Once you've sewn those together, you'll cut them apart on that line that you drew, or in between from corner to corner. You press them nice and flat, and then you're ready to do the next one. So the next one, you're going to be using your C and D fabrics, and those are real easy. You just line those up nice and straight, and then you're going to sew a 1/4-inch seam down the side, which will, in the end, look like that. See that? So you're following along so far? I hope so. If you have any questions as we go, be sure in any comments, go ahead and leave me your questions, or you can jump on over to our Facebook group and questions in there. I'm happy to help. Speaking of our Facebook group, if you haven't joined our Facebook community yet, it is a lot of fun, and I would like to invite you to join that. So you just go on Facebook, go to My Quilting Loft, and then on the button there that'll say Join Group, go ahead and do that. And then you'll have to answer a couple questions so that we know that you're really a quilter, and then we'll invite you into the group. And there you'll see everyone sharing pictures of the blocks that they're making and sharing lots of fun things that they're making outside of this project as well. So I hope that you do that. Okay, so once you have your half square triangles cut, you'll have 4 of those, and you'll have 4 sets of these little rectangle blocks. You're going to want to get those laid out. Now make sure that you don't have your blocks, your half square triangles facing the wrong way, or you're not going to get that effect that you want. And you don't want it like this. You want it like this. Okay? See how that was? And then you're just going to line these up, take it to the machine, sew a 1/4-inch down the side, line the second ones up, same here, 1/4-inch down the side, and same thing right here, 1/4-inch down the side. And then you'll open that up, come and add these. You get the idea, right? So several of you have already probably done this block in other projects. And so if you have, I would love to have you share your pictures of your projects on our Facebook community. That would be really great. Okay, so after you've sewn those rows, you're going to want to make sure that you take them to the iron and press your seams all going the same direction along the top, but the opposite direction for this one, which if you accidentally make a mistake, since this is a symmetrical block, just switcheroo right here, make it very easy. And then this one will go the other way. And did I do mine right? Let's see. Yes, I did. That's awesome. Okay, so just going to take this to the machine. Now, here's where you might want to use a couple pins, because you want to make sure that your seams are nesting very nicely here. It's very important. You don't want a gap here in your seams. You don't want them overlapped. You want them nesting just right next to each other. You can kind of feel them lock into place right there when you've got them just right. And use a pin here and a pin here, and then take it to the machine. And you're going to sew a 1/4-inch here. Do the same over here, 1/4-inch. And that's what you'll have when you're done. Easy as that. So you're going to also see, you're going to want to press those open this way. Not press open, but I mean, you can press open if you like, but I press mine to the side. But I press these this way and these that way. The reason I do that is because when I have a half square triangle block here, the bulk of the fabric tends to like to go that way. So make sure that you're using 4 different fabrics and that you're using the same fabric for that part of your half square triangle as you are for half of your rectangles, and so that they line up and make that churn dash shape. So if you like this quilt behind me here, over here, that quilt was made by my friend Linda, and it is a beautiful quilt using this gorgeous, gorgeous fat quarter bundle called Spring Brook. And this one is Moda Fabrics, and they're so, so pretty. Aren't they just gorgeous? I love these light spring colors. They're so beautiful. We have this fat quarter bundle available in the shop, so you can go onto myquiltingloft.com and you can order this fat quarter bundle and we can get that shipped out to you. Now it's $115 and anything over 100 is free shipping. So you would get free shipping on this fat quarter bundle. Okay, and that is it for today. I hope that you are making sure to subscribe and like and ring and click on the little bell so that you'll be notified when we post new tutorials on our YouTube page. And yeah, so YouTube is new to us, and so I thank you so much for subscribing and sharing and letting your friends know. And we're just going to get better and better as we go because we're still learning. But I just know that you're going to be so gracious if we have any boo boos. And speaking of boo boos, every once in a while, Deja, who is helping edit these videos, she tends to put a little bit of bloopers at the end, so stick around for those. They're kind of fun. Okay, so make sure that you are tuning in on Saturday mornings on our Facebook Live sale. You just go to Facebook, go to My Quilting Loft at 10 o'clock every Saturday morning Pacific time because we're in Troutdale, Oregon, so that you can watch our very fun and interactive Facebook Live sale. I hope to see you there. You have a great day and happy sewing. Bye. So that you okay, and that is it. So, ooh, banging on the table. So that's really all there is to it. Just make sure that you're using I think you can edit this. If you like that quilt behind me, this quilt here, make sure that you're using 4 different fabrics, using the same fabric for your B and your D fabrics. Did I say that right? B and the D. Yeah, so that you got the purple. Good. Edit that out. Okay. The block that we're going to do this week is. Oh, edit that